All right, guys, there was a major, mishap. It could have happened, but yeah, so sorry for the problem again. All right, yeah, let's do this. All right, so welcome to the workshop. Welcome to what you have been waiting for such a long time. And I would like to tell you that most of the people that are here today, you guys registered for it during the waitlist, which means you are sincere, you are very serious about growing your blog, and you see this as an opportunity to learn more about business blogging, to learn more about taking charge of your career as a writer. And obviously you love writing, like that is the most important prerequisite of being a blogger. You love writing because that is one thing that really keeps the whole blogging thing intact. Okay. Yes, Yamini, I am recording the session. Don't worry. And guys, like I said, now please don't text anything here, because it makes a sound, it pops up, and so it really distracts me during the presentation. If you have, I am recording the session. Don't worry. And if you have any questions or anything, just save it for tomorrow. I will answer all of your questions, and don't worry, I will not end the workshop until each and every question is answered. All right, you guys will go back with all your technical, non-technical, with all your questions answered after this workshop. All right, so let's dive in. Okay, so welcome to Set Your Blog for Success, and these are the contents that we will be going through the workshop today. The first four steps. So, well, you know me, I've been a freelance writer since 2020, and last year in 2023, I decided to take my website, my blog very, very seriously, which have been in existence since August 2020. But I was not much serious about it because obviously I had different priorities in the, in those 2.5 years. But last year, I took it seriously, and this is what I've been able to do. Like my blog, well, it's not actually 665 here, it's written 665 because I updated, when I was going through my content of the presentation, I updated it. So as of this moment, as of today, my impressions on my blog have crossed 700K in the past 13 months, and even the page views have crossed 41,000 page views in the past 13 months. So, yes, I'm just updating you guys with the numbers. And today in this workshop, I will teach you, I will show you every single step: writing, non writing, technical, non technical, on page SEO, off page SEO, content writing, content publishing, content research, content promotion. We will go through all of these things in these 2 days, and you will learn every single thing that I have done to grow my blog from literally zero to the numbers that we have today. All right. So, well, let's talk about you now. Obviously, if you're here in this workshop, this means that, well, you want to start a blog, you want to scale your life, and obviously, blogging. See, the thing about blogging in India is that today, when we say blogger, it has somehow been restricted to the usual Instagram blogging. But people like me who are an introvert, or who do not want to face the camera and dance on reels, no disrespect to anybody, but that is not something that I can do. So if you do not want to do all of those things, and most importantly, if you are a writer, if you love writing, then blogging still has an old school meaning, which is having a website, writing on it, building your personal brand, connecting with brands, and just doing everything that people on Instagram are doing, but being behind the cameras. So if you're an introvert, or say, you know uh, it is something that you do not want to do, or you do not relate to yourself being on the gram and doing all of that stuff, then this is something that you can pursue. Blogging actually, it is not something very new. Even the old school blogging, it's not new. Okay, it started in it has been on the web, on the internet for a long long time. However, in the previous years, in the back in the days, it was more about a diary entry format, like literally just how you write your diary entry. People started blogging by writing everything, like a diary entry format, but in a digital journal kind of way. However, with time, with evolution, with more technical prospects that we have had in the past 20 or 30 years, blogging also has evolved. Today it is so much more than just being a digital journal. You can create your personal brand, you can educate people, you can aware them, you can collaborate with brands, you can get sponsored opportunities for your blogs, and most importantly, ads. Advertisement is the most important, most primary way in which blogs earn, which again, as I said, we will talk about them as and when the slides come in. Okay, so on day one, I'll show you the first four steps, and on day two, you'll learn about the last two steps, which will take you closer to your blogging goals, aka building systems that make you money even when you sleep. So what do I mean by making money even when you sleep? See, um building a business, building a website, or working on it is no less than building a startup. That's why I always say, if you are working on a website, you're no less than a startup founder or an entrepreneur. Why? Because, well, it requires the equal amount of impact, equal amount of efforts and hard work. Because while so many people think that, oh, blogging is easy, it's make money quickly, no, it's not. It is definitely not. Anybody who tells you that they have made money from blogging overnight also must tell you that they have a team of people who are writing for them, who are publishing content for them, who are doing content research, who are bringing new ideas to the table. It is never a one person's job. Never a one person's job if they say you that they are making money from their blog overnight, or if they say they are making a lot of money from their blog. Okay, never a one person's job. And by the time it remains a one person's job, it will take you years to reach at a place where you can actually say, oh, I make a stable sustainable income. For example, in the US, stable amount of income that most people target from making a blog is $3,000. Okay, so I was just reading this research yesterday where it said that $3,000 is what most people aspire to earn from a blog. And to reach that kind of income, there are a lot of things involved. It involves your, and $3,000, I'm talking primarily from ads. Obviously there are other ways. Like I said, you can collaborate with brands, you can write sponsored posts, you can promote someone's business on your blog, and you can probably sell even your own products and services. Yes, there are many different ways, but as a blogger, primarily from ads, it starts, $3,000 is like a minimum, bare minimum base that people in the US set up for themselves. For us, honestly, even $1,000, being in India, as you guys know, even $1,000 would work, would be a good sustainable income for, for anybody uh, who wants to transfer blogging as a full-time job, right? Who wants to probably leave their 9 to 5 and work on their own, or work on their own business. $1,000 is pretty much a good income for the, according to the Indian economy, right? Like, to begin with, I'm not saying it's good like for a luxurious lifestyle, but to begin with, it's good enough, right? Because $1,000 equals to somewhere around 75 or 80,000. So yeah, it's pretty good to begin with, right? So yeah, let's before we dive into all of the content things and everything, let's address the elephant in the room. It's 2024. Is blogging still relevant? So just like I said, most importantly, it profitable, right? These are the two questions that so many people have. Because I have never get kept anything, right? I've been very vocal and very real that it takes time. It will not happen overnight. It will require you to work hard. You will have to be a one person army working on your blog, doing everything from setting up your blog to literally promoting your blog, managing ads, and like everything, because I do it on my blog. I've been doing it for the past 1 year. I've done literally every single thing on my own for my blog until November, when I started having a team and writers came in, they started writing for me. And even then, while they were writing for me, I actually increased my workload, because before that it was just me and I was working. For example, let's say I'm writing just one blog, so from content ideation to content editing to content posting, I was the only one doing everything. Now, because I am the only person, I know my mindset, right? I know how I want my blogs to come out and everything. So even when I was writing on my first draft, I had a perspective in mind. But the thing with bringing new writers to your team is that they take time to get into your shoes, or to get into the understanding of how your brand works, which is what happened when my writers came in, when my team came in. It took me like literally a month to get used to the fact that I have people writing for me, and I have people who are writing for me. And also my workload increased. Why? Because now I had to edit their work. And when I started with 24 writers, like 32 writers, sorry, so when 32 writers are working on your blog, and like on the bright side, I had so much content with me, right? But on the downside, I was the only one editing all of that content, right? So it literally increased my workload. So the truth is that your blog will become everything you want it to be, every single thing, if you work for it and adopt to how people consume your content today. Because we'll talk about finding your niche and everything. So when I say people consuming your content, it comes down to your blogging niche, which could be literally anything under the sun. Literally anything under the sun, something that you wants to talk about, right? So your yes, blogging has evolved. Like I said, what started as a digital journal has evolved to become a $1 billion industry today. Yes, blogging is a very very lucrative industry. Otherwise, ad agencies are not they're not fool enough to invest their money. Have you seen anybody talking about, have you seen paid marketers? They talk about how they are Google Ads expert. So, well, why run Google Ads? Like, why do you do it at all? Why? Because the thing is, irrespective of how much audio video content comes in and goes, how much YouTube comes in, how much Instagram comes in, Google have carved a place for itself, and it is here. The search engines are here to rule the internet for a long long time to come. So even today, when any problem arises, there are only two ways to go for it. You would either go to Google and answer the question and ask the question, or you would go to YouTube and try to find an answer in the video format. So when you go to Google, when you search your problem, what comes up is your job as a blogger, as a content marketer, as a content writer. That is where we writers come in. And even though AI has taken over and this and that, there's a lot of air around those topics which we will address in this workshop today. But when people, as long as people are searching for their problems on Google, you will stay relevant as a writer. However, the distinguishing thing is that you have to take yourself above average. You have to be better than most of the mediocre writers out there, because there are so many job portals or freelancing sites that actually hire writers for a very very low wages. So yes, the competition is there, but you can obviously set yourself on a pedestal, and that happens when you work on your personal brand, when you work on yourself. As a writer, as a content marketer, you can do it in different ways. You can have your LinkedIn presence, right? But if you want that, like I said, make money in sleep thing, if you want that to work for yourself, then having a blog is by far the best way to do it. Why did I took back from my freelancing career? Why did I started working on my blog? I'll tell you one simple reason for it. Until 2022, even though I had some very good freelancing projects to work on, I did not, like, somehow I could not get the kind of creative freedom I was craving as a writer. and I wanted to do so much more, I wanted to learn so much more. So I said, instead of hunting clients and instead of going behind strangers or people on LinkedIn or people on the internet, why not use my own website that has been sitting in my laptop for the past 2.5 years? Why not use it and grow it? And when I did that, I cannot even begin to share how many new things I learned. Until 2022, I was just a content writer. I would be honest, I was just a simple content writer. At the end of 2023, I am not just a writer anymore. I call myself a content marketer now. Why? Because I know SEO. I have solved technical, non technical problems for my blog. Things like, things that used to scare me up until 2022. Okay, so according to a recent report by Report Linker, the global content marketing industry is expected to grow by $584.02 billion between 2023 to 2027. This number that I just read, $584.02 billion, these are your opportunities as a content marketer, writer, or a blogger. Because yes, the demand is there, the industry is still there. So this actually shows that irrespective of how saturated it gets, there is still a big piece of, there's still a piece of this big pie for each of us in the market, despite the competition, despite all the confusions and questions if it's still relevant or not. The truth is there is still place for each of us. So blogging is here to stay, it is here to rule the digital marketing landscape. And the real question is, how serious are you to make it work for yourself? That is all it comes down to, nothing else. Because obviously there would be obstacles, obviously there would be problems, I have had them. And but the real question is, are you willing to go through it? Are you passionate enough to work on it? That is what it comes down to. So blogs are no longer limited to being your digital diary. There are real businesses that companies use to promote their products and services. I myself have collaborated with 4 brands in the past year, where they came to me inbound. I did not reach out to anybody. They came to me, they sent me emails, and they told me that this is the product you can use, and we would want you to talk about our product on your blog. This is one way of how brands use blogs to promote their products or services. Blogs, they help you to express yourself, document your journey, build your creative outlet, build a solid personal brand, sell your products or services, improve your writing and digital marketing skills, yes, and earn through mediums that don't include direct selling. So what do we mean by mediums that don't include direct selling? Number one, advertisements. Okay, like I've been talking about it. So so now that you have decided to build your blog, let's understand the step by step process to build, grow, and earn from your blog. Number one, let's begin with setting your blog's foundation, which is two things: deciding your blog's name and your blog's niche. These are the two things your blog will be known for. For example, here's a little story. In 2020, I remember this was May 2020 when I was discussing it with my partner, that I want to have a blog, I want to have a website, but I'm confused about what should I name it. And then I came across this article or a video, I don't remember it exactly, but it said that your brand, personal brand, will only be known for the things you do and not for the name you give it. So I blatantly just said, let's call it Written by Shweta. And that's how my brand, my website was born. Okay, that's how I named it. So this is one advice I would give you as well, that do not think too much about naming your website. Just write it, just call it something that you would want people to relate to. For example, for me, there were two reasons to have it Written by Shweta. Number one, I somehow wanted it to reflect my services as a content writer. Okay, back then, so that's why I called it Written by Shweta, because it would reflect that okay, she's a writer as well. And next, I thought that in the long run, whenever I have my blog, I would just like people to know that she's the one working on it, right? So that's why I called it Written by Shweta. And so make sure, you should choose a name that is catchy, it's easy to remember. Don't go with anything very complicated, because your blog's name or your personal brand's name should come on people's mouth like this. Okay, like this. They should be able to remember it. So it can either in you can again you can either include your name or topic of your blogging, that is your niche. Okay, or you can probably, for example, mine is Written by Shweta and I have a general blog today. Okay, but for example, I have seen blogs where they say art by this or gardening by this, something like this. Okay, don't go only by this. For example, there's a very popular blog, it's called by Sophia Lee. So she has simple, right? Then there is one called christinagalbato.com. If nothing else, just take your name and go with a .com domain name. Simple. Why? Because you want people to know your name, you want people to know yourself as a brand when you get into blogging. So I took it very simply. Okay, and even this design that you see here, written by and then Shweta in cursive, this was all my web developer's idea, and this is how it came on, right? I had a graphic designer, he worked on it, and this is how my brand was born out of literally, like, very minimal efforts went behind the whole presentation of the brand. This is what you have to do in the beginning. Don't really care about how your brand looks, how your website, like how much you should invest in it in the beginning. Why? I'll tell you. Because blogging will take some time before it gives you the kind of results where your website becomes something to talk about. Okay, so in the initial times, just focus on things that are important, which is content. Okay, so yeah, don't waste too much time on this, as you can easily change it in the future by buying a new domain name that we will discuss. Don't try to be extra creative with it. Yes, keep it simple yet memorable. Okay, so next, the most important decision of your career is your blogging niche. Why? What is a blog? What is a niche? Okay, if you have seen me as a freelance writer, if you have read my post on LinkedIn as well previously, you have seen me talking about having a blogging niche. Now, why is that important? Why? Because your niche is something that you are going to write about. Okay, your niche is something that you are going to talk about for a long, long time. And as because you are creating an entire business around this whole blogging thing, your niche is the topic that you will be talking for your entire career, right? So you have to choose a topic that you are passionate about. It's very, very important that you talk about a topic that you are passionate about, that you don't get tired of talking. Okay, for example, my blog started as a lifestyle blog where I talk about self improvement topics. So that is something that I really love to talk about. These are the things that I love to explore about, like new concepts and new processes, right? These are the things that I like to talk about. But then I am also a skincare and hair care fanatic, and I love talking about these things as well. So my blog has a self-care section as well, which came on later, right? But initially my blog started with just self-improvement thing, right? So choose a blogging niche that you are passionate about. For example, book bloggers, right? They talk about, you can have a book review blog where, because you are an avid reader and you love reading, you can have a blog where you give book reviews, right? And it could be called book reviews by, say, Yamini, or book reviews by Priya. Just something. Your name is, like I said, it should be something that reflects what you do, or it should be a reflection of who you are. So your blogging niche is the most important decision of your blogging career. This is what you will be writing and creating content on for a long, long time. That is why it is very important that you choose it very, very wisely. While you can definitely choose more than one subject to talk about on your blog, your main topic should be something that you can constantly reinvent, right? For example, on my blog, I talk about a lot of different things now, because yes, obviously it's been 3 years to my blog, and in 1 year I've grown it so much as well. So now I believe that I have the liberty to, obviously it's my website, it's my personal brand, nobody is coming to question me. So I believe I have the liberty to talk about new things on it, right? So I, However, in despite of all the topics that I cover, somehow the main slice of life, as they say, the main point in every single blog comes around self improvement. You can go and read any blog on my website, and you will see that it will have a tangent of self improvement on my blog. Whether it's, for example, recently I added home decor to my blog, right, as a section, and there as well you would see that it has a little tangent of the home decor section, and it then also it has a little tangent of self improvement. So because as much as your blog will depend on your readers interest, it will also depend on your interest in creating these blogs. See, as a writer, it's a two-way process. You are writing and your readers or the consumers are consuming your content, right? So they will, this is like a universal rule for content creators. I'm going to tell you that your readers will only enjoy reading your content if you enjoy creating your content. If you do it out of obligation, you will get tired, you will give up very easily. I'm very sure of it. But if you get into it, just if you get into it with the spirit of, yes, this is what I'm passionate about, this is what I love to talk about, this is what I this is what I can talk about for hours. For me, for example, writing is one topic that I can talk about for years. That is the simple reason I am able to continue this workshop for 2 3 hours, right? Because I can talk about it literally. I have done the work and I have done it all by myself. I have got my hands dirty in the game. So I have really got into the business, right? So choose a blogging niche that makes you feel passionate about. You have for example, let's say you like decorating your homes, go for interior designing as your niche. Let's say you like gardening, yeah, like you are into gardening and you have a huge collection of plants in your home, choose to go for a gardening blog. Educate people on them, because I tell you, I bet that there are so many people who are just willing, who are just waiting for them to discover you. Okay, because it's like, I am not saying, see, I am not saying you will not get bored of your niche. That's bound to happen and it's completely fine, but your choice of niche should not make you feel like there's no content left and now you should give up. That should not be there. That is very very important. So, and how does that happen? Because I'll tell you, no topic is small enough to get over with content. I, I'm just being very honest, because in despite of how narrow topic you choose, you can always expand and explore different tangents and different areas or angles of that topic, and you can always continue new content for your blog. But it will get over the day you feel like, it's a chore. The day you feel like, I don't feel like doing it, but I have to do it out of obligation. That is the day it will all get over for you. So you have to find a niche, you have to explore a niche for yourself where it feels like, oh, I'm enjoying it. And how do you do that? See, your blogging niche should be a blend of these five things, because obviously at the end the goal is to make money with your blog. And it is no, even your passion will not make any sense if you just continue writing and posting, writing and posting, and doesn't make any money out of it. Doesn't make any sense, right? So your blogging niche should be a blend of these five things: your passion and interest, the most primarily important thing, market demand and competition. Yes, you do not want to be writing about a topic that is not relevant to the present audience or to the future market. Your knowledge and area of expertise, again very important. For example, let's say you have been a doctor for a while, let's say you have been a practicing teacher for that matter, right? Or let's say you're a mom, forget everything, like we have Yamini here. See, let's say you have a mom, you can start a parenting blog for that matter. It is a very growing site, very growing niche in today's market. See, topic relevancy in the future. Now parenting is not going anywhere, right? As long as humans walk this earth, parenting is going to be relevant. So that is a very great niche to explore as a blogger. Monetization plans. See, How it works is there are a few niches that are restricted by Google. Now niches like these are illegal niches, adult content, or adult entertainment content, or these casino websites, or gambling websites, or gaming websites, illegal games basically. So these are a few illegal websites that Google does not approve of, and they do not collaborate with the bloggers who work on these websites for their AdSense, because obviously that downgrades their brand's reputation as well. Google being a big brand that is, it does not collaborate with these illegal websites. So make sure that your website is, most importantly, the niche is legal. And how do you know that? Well, here are some examples, and all these niches are very much legal. Okay, food and drink. Let's say you're a food, you love exploring restaurants and cafes around the world. You can be a local, you can have a website where you can be a local blogger or a national blogger, and you can go around the city, go around the country, exploring new food, and you can just give reviews and explain, like share your experiences of those things in your blog. Simple. Fashion, travel, personal finance. Okay, so I have a writer in my team, and she once told me that, ma'am, I'd like to have a personal finance blog someday. So I was like, yeah, go ahead, because she is in the second year of college and she's studying about these things. So why not turn it into an income? I mean, by the time she's in second year right now, and by the time you get out of college, by the end of third year, you have 2 years with you. You will not recognize where your blog would have gone if only you just continue with publishing, let's say, one blog a week minimum, bare minimum. Don't expect anything for 2 years from your blogs. Very simple. I'm being very honest here. Even though I have worked on my blog last year and I have made a few dollars, and on my AdSense account, I don't expect anything from my blog for the next 1 year as well, in terms of monetization. Why? Because I know it is a long term thing, and given that I'm the only one working on it, I cannot expect it to give me the results of a 10 team. I cannot expect it to give me a 10-member result when I'm the only one working on it. Just be realistic with yourself. Okay, don't pressurize yourself, and don't have don't set unrealistic expectations for yourself. That is very important. Some other niches are, again, parenting, like I said, digital marketing, very very lucrative niche. Demand is like, okay, some other level, as you all can see. Then there is career, where you can talk about resumes, interviews, how do you dress for an interview, and all of those things. Like, there are so much things. Entertainment, movie reviews or book reviews, as they say. Education, field of your whatever it is that you have studied, or whatever it is that you specialize in, you can turn that into a blog. Pet care, again, pet care is a very lucrative niche. I have seen dog blogs and cat blogs, and other, like, these are very popular blogs that people love to read about. Automobiles, real estate, internet marketing, sales and marketing, AI, art and craft, personal development. This is mine. Like, I have a self improvement blog. Then health and fitness, mental health, home improvement, and DIY. These are all very lucrative niche. However, please make sure, like, this is a mistake that I did, and I do not want any one of you to repeat it. If you are giving any health advice on your blog, you should be able to validate that advice with a say degree or some kind of certification or qualification. Do not give any health advice or medical advice on your blog without any qualification. Because I'll tell you the story why. Like, I'll reveal the complete story tomorrow when the topic comes up around Google AdSense. But this is one thing I've learned from my mistake, so I am just being very honest here, and I'm saving you the time. Don't write about health or medical advices if you do not have a valid certification or qualification on it. Okay, it will save you a lot of time, trust me. So now, okay, you have decided your blog's name, you have understood what your blog's niche would be. Now it's time to take your blog on the web. Now it's time to give your blog a home. So it's time to set your blog online. Now, okay, this is the place where your blog comes online, out in the real digital world. This is the step where you have to invest. Okay, where you literally have to invest. Like they say, to make money you should have money. It's like a circle, right? And also the investment parameters are very very low. It's not something that's too high or too huge to begin with. If you all have been working, you can easily you can, I believe you can make it. So the two things that you have to invest to grow your blogs are: number one is a web hosting service and a domain name, and the second thing is a blogging platform. So let's learn by this one by one. Okay, so web hosting and domain name. Now, web hosting, as the name suggests, it is where your website visitors, your readers will come. Okay, for example, my website, it's called writtenbyshweta.com. So, writtenbyshweta.com is my domain name. Okay, that is what I have patented. Okay, when you buy it, it belongs to you and nobody else in the world can use that for their business. Okay, so web hosting, as the name suggests, is where where you host your website readers, okay, your visitors. This is crucial step in setting up your blog's foundation, because this is how people will be able to see your blog online, read it, or do everything that you plan to do with your blog. For example, you go on a website and you're able to move your cursor around it, you're able to click on the things, you're able to download things. All these things happen, all the functionality of a website happens because they have a web hosting. Okay, web hosting software keeps your website data safe and secure. All the backend data that your website goes through, all the coding that goes into your website, it is it is kept safe and secure because your website has a web hosting software. It makes sure that people can, like I said, people can reach the link they click on your blog. Okay, it makes sure that if you go to my blog, if you're able to click on the blog section, or if you're able to click on the about section and reach that page and read on it, and scroll down and do everything on that blog, that is because my website also has a web hosting service. Okay, think of it like this: web hosting is your home. When someone comes to your home or visit your website, they can hang out on it and read different blogs, sign up for your newsletters, download your freebies, or register for your webinars, or basically do everything that you want them to do. That is because those websites have a web hosting service. It ensures that all the functionality of your website is happening smoothly. See, like I said, domain name is your website's address. It is the name that you chose for your blog in the first step. So, this is where you claim it as your own. Like I said, you get it patented so that nobody else in the world can use it. That is why, when I say that having a website makes your personal brand, this is one of the reasons, because, well, that name belongs to you. Nobody else can take that. Okay? Because if you go on Google and you search Shweta Gautam, I am sure a lot many people will come on. I am also one of them, but I am sure a lot many other, Instagram pages, or there are few actresses that will come on. Definitely they will. But if you go and search for written by Shweta, you will see my website, my Instagram, my LinkedIn, my YouTube, and everything that is related to me on the web, and nobody else. That is the power of a domain name. That is why building a personal brand makes you so, unique. And this is why having a domain name just adds to that uniqueness. Nobody else can get it from you, nobody else can own it like you do, because you have claimed it as your own. Okay, now, domain names, there can be a lot of different types of domain name. For example, .in, .co, .uk, .au. So .in is India, .uk is obviously United Kingdom, .au is Australia, .co is another general one, and .com is the global domain name. So I wanted my website to have traffic from all over the world. Literally, I wanted my brand to be a global brand. So that's why I went for a .com name. But let's say if you want your content to stay limited within the country, you can go for .in as well. However, like personally, I would suggest that you go for a .com, domain name, because it opens a lot more opportunities for you. As simple as that. Okay, so like I said, while these are based on countries, I would suggest you go for a .com domain name, since it is again more universal and more global. And again, like, so that your blog, it doesn't stay restricted to any geographical barriers. Okay, Now, let's talk about web hosting. So, given the importance of web hosting, like we just talked about, there are obviously there are so many companies in the market. Any one of you, have you ever seen a GoDaddy ad on the YouTube or on the TV? GoDaddy is a web hosting software. Okay, that is why MS Dhoni comes onto your screen and says, get your business online. That is why it says, because a web hosting service helps you do that. However, GoDaddy is probably, I don't know if it's global, but I think it's Indian. I i have selected Hostinger for my website, and it's just 140 to 149 rupees per month. However, I've gone for their yearly plan because based on things that I want to do with my blog from the beginning, I have invested in their yearly plan because that just works better for me, and obviously because I can afford it, right? So according to your needs, according to your financial grounds, you can see whether you want to whether 149 or 150 rupees a month is good for you, or the yearly planning is good for you. Honestly, I don't even know what the yearly plan cost is, because I have a web developer who takes care of all these things, so we pay him yearly, where that includes his charges for the yearly website management and this hostinger renewal as well. All right. So I always, like I said, I always invest in their yearly plans because of my blogging goals. You can all, obviously, you can always start with their monthly package and you can explore. However, when it comes to the, like the interface and the customer support and everything, Hostinger has been a great investment for my blog. So yes, you can definitely explore it. Now let's talk about the blogging platform, your website platform. See, a blogging platform, like I said, it is where you choose to build your blog. Okay, the most used platform is WordPress, then we have Wix, Weebly, there's also Squarespace in the market. So these are definitely some of the contemporaries in the game. But Forbes has declared WordPress as the best for customization website builder in 2023, and I cannot disagree. I do agree. Why? I am a non-tech person. Okay, I know nothing about technical aspects of building a blog, to be very honest. But even a non-technical girl like me could work her way around what's WordPress. It's that easy. So if you are someone who thinks that, oh, I would not be able to find my way around it, trust me, WordPress makes it really easy for non-technical guys, guys and girls like you and me. So definitely you can go ahead with it. Okay, I have my blog on, like I said, on WordPress. It's very easy to use. Plus, as a content management system, it's very easy, like I said, for a non-tech person like me. So definitely you can go ahead with WordPress. Now, this is something very important, so make sure you listen to this thing very carefully. Okay, but before that, let me just take a break. I need to drink some water. पानी ले आओ ऊपर से, please, please, बिल्कुल भी नहीं है, ले आ, इसे भर के ले आ फटाफट, इसमें थोड़ा सा तो होएगा, जल्दी ले आ। 3 बज गए, फटाफट खत्म करना है मुझे ये। खुल नहीं रही है, देखा? इतना चलेगा? तेरी माँ की, रहने दे, ऐसे ही दे। इसे उठा यहाँ से। बस ये रखा, बच्चे बात के लिए छोड़ देते हैं। भर के ले आओ इतने ऊपर से। चली जा यार, फिर दोबारा जाएगी, टाइम लगेगा। जा, नहीं लगेगा ना, चला जाऊंगी। Okay, so like I said, this is some very, very crucial and important information. So you must listen to this very carefully. So there are two types of WordPress website. One is called WordPress.com, one is called WordPress.org. So how many of you have seen aspiring writers have this website called https colon slash slash WordPress dot say harsha slash slash dot org, something like this? How many of you have seen like a web address like this? It's very common among writers, very, very common. I'll tell you why. Because it's free. Okay, it's free for writers, it's free for people who just want to write for the sake of improvement. Okay, so here is how this is different. See, WordPress.com, it's free to use, does not offer any customization. And see, written by shweta.wordpress.com. Okay, that is the free version. It will have the word WordPress in the domain name. That is why it's free. Okay, on the other hand, wordpress.org is a paid one where you pay for all these things, which is, as you can read the differences, nominal fee within your web hosting plan. When we say web hosting plan, so when, for example, in my case, when we invested in hostinger, the wordpress.org, it comes in collaboration, the blogging platform, it comes in the same package as the web hosting service. Because even these web hosting services, they have their collaboration with the different blogging platforms, right? So it is your choice, based on your selection, like whether you're going for WordPress, Wix, Weebly, or Squarespace for that matter. Okay, depending on the blogging platform you choose, every web hosting platform will have a plan where they will offer you their services, like the web hosting services, along with their blogging platform. So I chose hostinger plus WordPress. So it came with it came, the WordPress connection, the WordPress access, it came to me with my web hosting plan. It is fully customizable with WordPress themes. WordPress, the paid WordPress, it has around 9,000 free themes. Okay, custom domain name, for example, mine is called written by shweta.com. You see how there's no WordPress in the name? Why? That's because I own my personal brand. Okay, this is my website, and even though it's there on WordPress, I own it. WordPress doesn't own it. On the other hand, for written by shweta.wordpress.com, yes, it's my my web page or website, whatever you'd like to call it, but WordPress owns it. It has no customizations, no custom domain. And like, you can just read the difference: no plugins allowed, limited free storage, least technical support, pay to remove ads. Because now these are not the ads that you get paid for, these are the ads that WordPress shows off within the web page to promote more of WordPress. These are WordPress ads in the free version. In the paid version, however, like, when you go for wordpress.org, you get to customize your ads, you get to place your ads based on and these are the ads that you get paid for, the Google AdSense. Okay, so pay to remove ads, pay to remove WordPress branding, like I said, they have the wordpress.com, written by Shweta, wordpress.com, they have the word there. Why? Because they're promoting their own business there. So no monetization, no ads, and no earning potential. Like I said, the free version is solely for you if you want to improve your writing skills. Like, you want to say, you literally want to do a journal kind of thing, you can do that there. Okay, good for you if you want to practice writing and just express your thoughts with limited SEO and analytics, and you cannot track your growth. So it barely offers any SEO. That is why I can say, I can, like, I'm very sure of this, that whenever you have gone on Google to search for anything, you would have never found a wordpress.com in the result. Have you ever found it? Like, any of you? Like, a writer posted something randomly and you found it in your Google results. It barely happens, like very, very rarely happens. Why? Because it doesn't support SEO. That is the reason. On the other hand, wordpress.org, it offers you to customize your entire website based on however you want, in terms of content, format, fonts, pictures, images, visualization of your website, all of these things. It offers you all of that. Okay, it gives you unlimited plugins, storage available based on your plans. Obviously, based on your plans, you have your storage available. Full technical support, you can control your ads, there's no WordPress branding, easy monetization, and there's endless potential, earning potential. Why? Like I said, you can earn through uh, Google ads, you can earn through sponsored posts, you can collaborate with brands, you can link to them, all of those things. You can do everything that you want on a paid WordPress platform. Then it's great for you if you are serious about building a low cost investment business. Like I said, the initial cost for a for the web hosting plan, it's like literally less than what per month, it's literally less than what you would cost, what would you could spend in a outing with your friends. Like, if you would go to any cafe, 1,000 to 2,000 is very normal spending for all of us these days, right? So it's even less than that per month, right? Full SEO and analytics are available to track your growth. So again, if you're serious about building your business, invest in a wordpress.org platform. Next, WordPress, like I said, it has a collection of themes, templates, code files, and styles that help you improve the design of your website. For example, when you go to my blog, you see I have a title, then three blogs, recent three blogs, title, three recent blogs. Some, on the other hand, you could have seen different types of homepage where they show one blog in the left, and other blogs like this, news feeds, for example. So all this happens because of the theme. Okay, all of these things happen because WordPress has very very large collection of themes that you can choose from, that you can experiment with. These themes, they ensure that your website runs smoothly and gives your readers the best user experience. For those of you who don't know, user experience is a very very critical component of your SEO. It doesn't matter how good your content is, if the user experience on your website is poor, it will not rank. Because while content is a very important pillar for SEO ranking, there are other off page off page parameters like user experience, design, how fast your website is loading, how slow it is loading. All these things contribute to your off page SEO, and all of these together, on page SEO, off page SEO, together they combine to bring your website on those initial rankings. It's never just one blog, or it's never because of, oh, you wrote a great blog and it has ranked. No. So that is why I said I was just a writer until 2022, but in 2023 I became a marketer, because I now know that the job of a writer is just limited up until the writing process. After that, everything that happens, that is a marketer's job. So if any blog ranks on my website today, it's not just because I wrote it well or my writers wrote it well. It's also because I have been tracking every single analytical aspect of my blog through my tools, and I've been working on improving them. Okay, so my WordPress, for my website, I use this theme called Ocean WP, again suggested by my web developer. Like I said, in 2020 I was very new to this whole concept, so I did not pay much attention to what theme should I go for, or branding, how it should be, and this and that. I just went with the flow, and I let the experienced person take charge. We paid him, and he gave us the entire website already. Okay. And personally, it has been a very good experience with the user interface as well. Like I said, for a non-tech girl like me, it has been great. You can definitely, if you want, you can choose Ocean WP, or you can also go for the the themes that your web developer suggests you, because, well, those people, they are professionals in that area in web designing, so they can tell you better. Now, here are a free WordPress themes that you can choose from: Astra, Bloxy, Neve, Flocks. Now, again, I know nothing about these themes, but I've included them here because I want you guys to have options. So you can just, when you are getting your blog ready, you can probably explore these themes. Now, plugins, very, very important. These are the ones that I swear by for my blog, and I think you can definitely, you should definitely have them on your blogs. Now, plugins, you see, just like you have Google Play Store, WordPress. WordPress also gives you this, this session on the website where you can download these plugins. Very simple. Again, bring in your web developer to do this for you, because I don't do it myself, this thing, because it's technical, and all of these things, they get too technical for me because they involve a little coding or those are, this and that, so I don't do it myself. So WordPress plugins helps your blog again to run smoothly and give your website visitors a seamless experience. Your blog will require plugins for different functionings. For example, now here are page building plugins. Now, page building plugins, for example, you have seen, when you go to my blog, and when you click on one blog, any of those blogs, so in that blog, the structure and everything that you see on my blog, that is because of these plugins. Okay, so here is called Brave Builder. It is for pop-ups, opt-ins, etc. So pop-ups, you might have seen when you go to a website and a pop-up appears, how can we help you, or download this thing, give us, they ask for your name and email address, and download the freebie or this and that. That happens because of a page builder called Brave Builder. Then we have Elementor WordPress Builder. This is the one I use. It is for formats, and it is a paid paid theme again. Divi Builder, again something I use for page building. Again, it's there on my website. Next is Thrive Architect. Now, Thrive Architect, I have included it here, but I don't use it. Why? Because it is, it is required for highly advanced and complicated functioning. Let's say, probably I would require this theme 3 to 4 years down the line, when I have so much content on my website and I need to segregate it and just have it more organized on my website. When there's so much content or so much data on my website, then I would like to invest in Thrive Architect, but as of now I have not invested in it, but I'm keeping it here just so that you know your options. Next are, these are these are the plugins that are required for speed. So then we have W3 Total Cache, Lightspeed, and WP Rocket. I don't use WP Rocket, it's paid, so I don't use it as of now. My website works absolutely fine on the free plugins. Okay, so now, speed, what do we mean by speed? Speed is, anybody clicks on, for example, let's say my blog is ranking on Google, right? Somebody search for a keyword and my blog comes up, and when they click on that blog, how fast my website loads, that is speed, and it's very important for SEO. Okay, security, word ference, it add layers of protection. Then there is WP hide, high security, and then WP limit login for setting login limit. So word ference is, okay, let me just show you what is word ference. I have it on my phone right now. So word fence is basically, it adds, see, this is how it works. I don't know if you can see. Okay, you cannot okay, see, can you guys see? So it says, see, it has a few codes here. Okay, can you guys see it?
No.
See it, like, no? Like abhi, okay,
No.
now
Yeah, there are
I know.
some codes.
See how these red, it was red and then it went blue. So okay, I'll tell you what, these are codes basically. Okay, um uh, what should I do? I don't know. Okay, let me just see. Can you see it now? Like, is it a little visible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. See,
Just a little.
now, sorry.
Yeah, it's just a little visible.
Okay, can you see it now? Okay, I'm bringing it closer to the camera. Can you see it now?
Yeah, yeah, little bit.
Yes. See, I'll tell you how this works. Now, this is WordFence. WordFence, it's also a app. So how this works is, um when you log into your website, along with your username or your email and the password, it this WordFence, it adds a layer of protection to your website. Why? It's just like an OTP. Okay, for example, let's say you have your bank details and nobody can use them without an OTP. It works the same way, word defense. But the good thing is that it expires sooner than your OTP, so that it's literally there for like 5 seconds. So if you enter that code within 5 seconds, you will get access to your website, and if not, the code changes. That is how it adds a layer of protection when you log into your website. Okay, next is WP hide. Again, it's for high security for complicated websites. Then WP limit login. So limit login is basically that limit login is basically, for example, my website pay, the limit login is for me and my WordPress developer. Only both of us can log into my website. No one else can log in. So that is a limit login. Okay, now let's come to setting up your website pages. Okay, so let's create the visual foundation. See, so as of now, for the first two steps, we have been talking about everything at the back end. Okay, everything that happens at the back end, the technical aspect of it. And if you are like me and if you feel like this is a little complicated thing for me, then like I said, go for a web developer. Okay, if you guys want, when I share the recordings with you all, I will also share the details of my web developer. You can get in touch with them, okay, for your blog whenever you plan to do it and everything else. Okay, you can get in touch with them and you can get your blogs sorted. When I began in 2020, we paid him 7,000 rupees for a year, like 1 year, and since then the charges have increased subsequently. So as of now, I guess the present rates are somewhat around 10 to 12,000. Okay, for an like the yearly investment on your blog. So yeah, you can just have a word, or you can explore your options with different WordPress builders or web designers, and you can see where what are the charges that they are quoting. Now, set your blog. So okay, till now we have been discussing the back end works, and now it's time to do the visible work, like everything that's visible on the website to common people, to people who do not know anything about your brand. Okay, this is where the writing work begins. So here are the four foundational pages that your blog must have, your website must have: home, blog, contact page, and an about page. Okay, now as your website grows, you can obviously add or modify these pages based on your needs, but to begin with, these are the four most important pages that your blog must have. Okay, see, here are a few examples of the homepage. See, this is a website called Mindfulness. Okay, so first impression of your digital home, your homepage, that is the thing, and you should make it count. So here is another self-help website. It's called Tiny Buddha. This is also a blog. So see, you can say they have home, they have blog, they have quotes, they have fun and inspiring, they have forums, advertise, submit a post, shop, and then they have the login page. So again, depends on how you want to progress with your website and how you want to add things. But to begin with, a home, about, and a contact page and a blog page are enough. This is mine. See, this is what my blog looks like. So you can see I have a home page, I have a blog page, like about page, I have a blog page, I have a work with me page. So this is basically for my services as a content marketer, uh, and then I have a contact page basic. So for the contact page, don't go for anything complicated, just keep it very simple. Like, for when you go to my contact page, you have to just submit your name, your email address, and your query. That's it, nothing more. Now, see, blog pages. So through this entire presentation, we will be talking about blogging with an example of a gardening blog. All right, so see now, if you're going for a gardening blog, these are the different pages that your blog can have. initially just go with three of them. Like, I have given you seven options here, but don't complicate the process, okay? Because having seven different category means creating blocks consistently for every one category. So you do not want to, get into the loop of laziness and tiredness and feel lethargic about, oh, I have to write about seven different categories. Don't do that to yourself. Just begin with three different categories, like I did. I began with three different categories, and now I have doubled down. I have five of them now, and probably in the future, I may have more, but as of now I have five of them. Okay, so for people who are, for you guys, if you are beginning into it, just go with three. More than enough, trust me. As a writer, I'm telling you, it's more than enough to have three. So then we have about page. This is where you shine. This is your moment to share your background and your story with your readers. For example, if you would go to my about page, you would see that I have my whole story written there. But when I say story, I have shared how I began, what I've been doing all through these years, and it's been a long time since I updated my about page. But yeah, you will, like, if you go to my website, you will at least know, okay, who Shweta is. You will get to know it. So your about page is supposed to do that. It should tell a story to your readers so that your readers feel connected to you, not just through your blogs but to your about page as well. Okay, so, and if you feel like, oh, I do not have anything to write, I do not have anything fun, inspiring, or a soap story for that matter, I do not have anything like that, just answer this simple question: why are you starting this blog? What is your vision for it? Yes, you want to earn money, all of us do, but go beyond money when it comes to your about page. Obviously, you will not write, I want to earn money, right? Your purpose for blogging should be bigger than that. It's very simple. When you are blogging, if you get into blogging just for money, you will give up sooner than you know. And I can bet on that. Promise me. Like, trust me, because I've been there. Okay? But when you discover a passion towards the topic that you are writing, when you are genuinely interested in talking about that, when you're curious about learning that topic, that is when you build a blog into the profitable, money earning machine that it becomes down the line. So don't ever build a blog only to earn money, because you'll give up sooner than you realize. The key is to have a blog on a topic that you cannot get enough of. Things that excite you, okay? Things that make you feel, that, oh, I can talk about this for years. So that is the kind of topic that you should choose, okay? And when you have chosen it, just talk about your experience, right? On your about page, let people know who is the person behind all of this, right? Who is the person, who is the real girl or woman behind the thing, right? Next, like I said, contact page, very simple, very limited. So, like, this is a pro tip for you guys. So when you are creating your blog pages, gardening blog for example, and let's say we are going for balcony gardening, terrace gardening, and vegetable gardening. Let's say we are going for these three different topics in my blog. Okay, so while you are choosing, naming these blogs, make sure that these words, that is vegetable gardening, balcony gardening, and terrace gardening, make sure they are keywords as it is. We will learn more about keywords. I will take you to my dashboard and I will show you my process of keyword research and everything. But like, this is like an additional piece of information, that whenever you are creating your whenever you are naming the sub content for your blog, make sure that you choose keywords for it. It adds to the SEO factor. And now let's come to your the final step for today, which is starting your blog content creation. This is very, very important. This is where the real works begin. Like, the setup is done, the foundation has been laid. Now it's time for you to, to wear your writer cap, sit on your laptops and get started with the content creation. The pre-writing process. Okay, so the pre-writing process, this includes five steps. So, today, while we are talking about the content creation steps, we will be going through three steps: pre-writing process, the writing process, and post writing process. So in pre-writing process we have these 5 steps. Priya, who has been in my team, would know that this is how I work. So we have 5 steps in the pre-writing process. One is called creating a content bank. Second, you choose the blog topics, then we do the keyword research, then my writers would do the content research, they would create the outline, and then they would go through the writing process. Okay, so when we talk about creating a content bank, it's very simple. When I say content bank, you don't have to feel like, oh, what, what's coming next. See, creating a content bank is a simple Google document. That's it, nothing else, nothing fancy. I'll tell you, um, for your blog, this is like one advice I would give you: keep things as simple as possible for yourself, and nothing beats Google Drive when it comes to maintaining all of your content. I've been using it for the past 3 years, and trust me, nothing beats that gem of a platform. Literally, Google Drive works like, how should I say, like, it literally keeps you organized as a blogger, seriously. So finding content ideas for your blog is the most crucial, part of your entire blog content creation process. It is the foundation of building and creating your blog in a way that it grows to the tremendous potential to earn for you in the long run. So what I like to do is, for example, I like to search for my content ideas quarterly. When I started in 2023, so in January, when I started with my content ideas, when I sat down to do the research and find content ideas for my blog, at once I had found ideas for the next 2 3 months. I was done with it for the next 3 4 months. I had content ideas with me, because, and I had added to this one Google document. So why? So that when I sit down to to work on my next topic, I don't have to waste that much time again in finding a topic first. That is why it is important to create a content bank. Okay, so I like to ideate my blog, like I said, for at least 3 to 4 months ahead, so that I'm never short of ideas and I don't have to repeat the process every single time I sit down to write a blog. The ground rule is to keep all your ideas in one place, in one file. I use a simple Google document for that. Okay, now how do you find these ideas? That is the next very important question. Now, here are, okay, now before I take you to the best ways to find your content ideas, let's just go through this thing. It's very important. So there are 3 types of content ideas, guys. Now I'm talking this from the perspective of blog. Okay, for your blog there are 3 types of content ideas: evergreen, seasonal content, trending content. Okay, so I don't focus on trending content for my blog. Why? Because, well, trends are trends, they come and go, as simple as that. So, like, once in a while, if you feel that, oh, this is a very hyped topic and probably you should write about it, you can do that, but at a later stage in your blogging journey, when your website has grown so much that you post a blog today and it ranks tomorrow. That is when you should go for trending content. Otherwise, always focus on evergreen content and seasonal content. I'll tell you why. Evergreen content is the content, the type of blogs that bring traffic to your blog, like, throughout the year. For example, I have a self improvement blog. So if I am talking about how can you change your life in the next 6 months, now this is a very general question and this is a very evergreen type of question. And if my blog ranks for this keyword, if my blog ranks for this question, or if my blog brings traffic, if this topic brings traffic to my blog, it's not restricted that, oh, it will happen only during this month or during this time. No. So that is an evergreen content. Seasonal content, this is your secret recipe when it comes to blogging, and this is something I've experienced myself. I'll tell you why. Mm, 2023, when I was growing my blog. So August, I started planning my content for Diwali. Okay, because I knew that November we have Diwali, and for new websites, it takes anywhere between, sometimes it takes 3 to 4 months, sometimes it takes 6 months, sometimes it takes probably an year, depends on the type of efforts you are doing. Okay, my first blog ranked after 1.5 years, in 2021, but that's because I was not working on my blog, I was just doing it on and off. Okay, the moment I took it seriously, my blogs have even ranked within 4 days. That is the power of working on your blog. Sometimes it ranks on 4 days, within 4 days as well. And I have seen people whose blogs have ranked like within hours as well. Like they posted it today, 2 hours later they have it ranking on Google. So the older your website becomes, the easier it gets for Google to recognize that, oh, you are an authentic content creator in this field and it should rank. Okay, so while I was planning the seasonal content for my blog, so I posted Diwali content ideas around Diwali. I posted it on in August or September. So I knew that, November we have Diwali. It was 12th November that this year, right? So I knew that 12th November it's Diwali. Obviously, people will be searching more for Diwali content, right? Diwali decor ideas, party ideas, gifts ideas, and this and that. These are the relevant topics that comes up when any festival comes in around. So I knew that I can use this to my leverage. So what I did, I posted, I posted Diwali blogs. No, now see what most people suggest. Diwali is in November. Post it 2 days before. Doesn't make any sense for bloggers. Why? Because it barely happens that, for a new blogger it would rank in 2 days. Doesn't make any sense. I posted for my Diwali content beforehand. I posted it 3 months before, so that when the time comes, because 3 to 4 months, like, by August I had seen this pattern in my blogs, that every blog that was ranking, all of my blogs, they started ranking after a period of 3 months. So I saw that pattern on my website. Your website could have a different pattern. For you it could be 6 months, 4 months, depending on, the kind of, again, the efforts you make into it. So I when I was going through my analytics, when I was tracking the numbers, I could see that my website has this pattern that it ranks within 3 months. So I took a bet and I created all of my Diwali content and posted it in within like August, September. I posted it. So when November came, my website experienced the highest number of page views until November. It crossed 5,000 page views per month in November, all because I had posted Diwali content. While my evergreen content was bringing the usual 3,000 or 4,000 page views, my Diwali content shot up. It ranked on first pages. It was there on the second or third, like second or like it was there on the first page, but it was the second or third result. Sometimes it was even first. So that is the power of seasonal content, and you should make use of this seasonal content based on your countries. Why? I'll tell you. So we are in India, right? We know that uh, Diwali, Holi, these are our prime festivals, and we know that people would be searching for these festivals, or Christmas for that matter. So now I know that, when my mistake this time during December was I was posting the Christmas content in November, like within just a month, 1 month. So it didn't rank. It did not rank much, and it ranked later. So now what's the use now? People are not searching for it anymore. It started ranking in January. No use. So, I have taken, like, I have experimented with everything now. Like, by now, I have experimented with the kind of strategy that brings traffic and the kind of strategy that does not bring traffic. This is the reason that even when November, even when I received 6,300 page views on my blog in November, in December I only got 6,400 page views, like just 100 above. It did not grow much, even though there was Christmas content. Why? Because my Christmas content had not ranked. That is the reason. And all the traffic that came on my Christmas content was through Pinterest, which we will learn as well how to use Pinterest, because that is the go-to platform for bloggers. Forget any other social media, just focus on Pinterest if you want to grow your blog, and I'll teach you that tomorrow. But I am just, mentioning it here that when you start to work on your blog, focus on evergreen content and seasonal content. Okay, for example, let's say for our gardening blog. Okay, let's say you have a gardening blog. So what could be your Diwali content idea for that? You can write Diwali party ideas in your garden. As simple as that. You do not have to be very creative when it comes to blogging. That is the beauty of it. Even the simplest things can shot up. And then another thing, my website also started ranking on Google Discover. That is why it brought traffic. So I'll show you what is Google Discover. um so you open Google on your phone, okay? So when you open Google on your phone and see, these are the articles. See, this is what you see. This is called a web story. Okay, this is again a web story. This is a blog here on Google Discover. I mean, it's a YouTube video. Sorry, it's a YouTube video, but this is a blog. Okay, this is a blog. See, it opens. I clicked it, and here. So this is also my website started ranking, and this is also how I started getting traffic on my blog from Google Discover. So these are very simple things that brings traffic to your blog. When we talk about Google SEO, it's not just that people will go and search for Google, search on Google, and then you will get traffic. No, you get traffic through Google web stories, you get traffic through Google Discover. I have not done web stories, like I have around 15 of my blogs on web stories, and they do bring regular traffic to my website, but I've not been consistent with web stories because it's like a lot more work, and right now I'm just not in a position to do that because there's so much on my table right now. But Google Discover, nothing new. You don't have to make any extra efforts. Just be consistent with your Google, with your blogs, and most of your, you will never know that your blogs will show up on Google. For example, one of my blogs, it shot up on Google Discover. It brought 1,000 page views alone, and it got 6,000 plus impressions from Google Discover. So you never know how things can rise up, and this happened in August. And after that, like yesterday itself, I was checking my Google Discover, and I saw that now 7 to 8 of my blogs have started showing up on Google Discover, and they are regularly bringing 15 to 20 visitors on my website, which is a very good thing, given that my website, I've been just working on my website for the past 1 year. So that is a very good number to begin with. So when we talk about going viral, virality is not just there on Instagram or LinkedIn, it's also there on Google in the form of Google Discover. Mine went viral, reached to 6,000 people, and brought 1,000 people on my website. And that is when actually my website started growing in August, right? So you never know how your efforts can bring you results, right? So all this thing, the conclusion is focus on evergreen and seasonal content for your blog, given whatever your niche is. Okay, now based on your niche and the content ideas you will select, you need to pick a blog topic for your very first blog. So for your very first blog, I would say just go for the very quintessential explanation kind of blog. See, uh, give basic tips to beginners in your niche. For example, for gardening blog, we are saying, so I would go for 15 best gardening tips for beginners. Simple. Nothing fancy, nothing very out of the box. Keep it simple. That is how you start your first blog. So now you have these 19 tips with you, okay? What about your next blog? So like I said, create a pillar post. Don't overthink too much, just post it. So you have a blog, 19 best gardening tips for beginners. You have these 19 tips. These 19 tips are your 19 content ideas. When you wrote and worked on that first blog, you simultaneously worked on 19 content ideas for yourself. Why? Because now you can expand each of these tips into new blogs. So these 19 tips are actually 19 blog ideas for you. That's how we work. We don't reinvent the wheel a lot in my writing team. We work, for example, let's say I gave a new topic to my writers, and they, like, a lot of them were coming to me that they have this difficulty in creating ideas and getting content ideas. So this is what I told them: don't think too much, just see, when you're working on your blog, when you have finalized it, just read it one last time. And if you find any difficult words or any phrase that you feel can be expanded into a new post, add that to your content bank. As simple as that. That is the most easy way for you to not, spend hours researching content ideas. you will start getting content ideas on your own. You will not have to spend hours and hours on that. And since then, there has never been shortage of content ideas in my team, at least, because every writer, whenever they work on their blog, they have something new to give me. And if they feel short, if they fell short of ideas, then obviously I'm there to guide them. So other than that, here are these 17 ideas, 17 places where you can go for content ideas. Quora, it's a platform, social media platform, so it gives you questions, so you can find your blog content ideas from there. Then there's YouTube, then there's subject books. For example, I'll tell you that I was reading this book called, okay, I don't see it here right now. Yeah, here it is. So I was reading this book, okay, 101 essays with that will change the way you think. So while I was reading this book, now because I'm a personal development blogger, right? So while I was reading this book just gave me like 140 ideas while I read like 5 chapters, literally. So this is the power of reading subject books, right? You get it. You like, there are so many different ways to find ideas for you. You don't, like I said, you don't have to reinvent the wheel altogether every time. Now next, there is Google Trends. So again, if you want to write on a trending topic, you can go for Google Trends as well. Google search. So how Google search? So let's say you are writing gardening tips. You go and search for gardening tips on Google. So Google will give you some suggestions, right? When you search for Google, Google gives you some suggestions. Those are your content ideas. Answer them in your blogs. That is the easiest way to find content ideas for your blogs. Your competitors, for example, I am building a self improvement website, so there are a lot of competitors I have in the market. So I sometimes, when I feel like, oh, I cannot find something new, so I would just go to their website, I would see what are the topics they are writing, and I would do read few of their blogs, and I can find content ideas there. There's literally no shortage. Answer the Public, another platform. It gives you all the who, when, what, how, and where of any topic, so definitely you can try it. Now, if you are, if you have like a social media presence, say you are, along with building your blog, you have the time to Instagram content and to create LinkedIn content and do all of these things, then you can ask your audience what it is that they would like to read. And your surroundings, very important, and probably the most ignored one of them all, that most people, when they work on their blogs, they forget their observation skills. So guys, there are so many new things happening around you. Add them to your content ideas. Okay, why and how do you do that? So what I do is, uh, let's say, because I see something new around me, I would open my phone's app phone like, I would open my note app, and this is what, it's a plain, it's just plain here. So I would open it and I would write random ideas that come into my mind, observing my surroundings, if any. And so when I am working on my content ideas, I would add that to my content bank. Now, to find a keyword around it, to do a research, and to find appropriate keywords that will bring traffic, all of those things that are secondary. Initially, it is important that you work on the content ideas. Okay, next, your existing blogs, like I just told you, 19 best gardening tips for bloggers, literally 19 ideas with you. Expand them. Social media trends, look what's trending on what social media, right around those topics. Your favorite podcast, listen to podcasts, they are great source of informations, and they are great source of content ideas as well. Then you can write detailed guides as well. And content consumption, now content consumption in forms of, again, all sorts of social media, your YouTube videos, your Instagram content, and all of these things, these are your content consumption. The movies you watch, the web series you watch, they could give you different content ideas, right? Depends on your observation skills. Niche authority website, so like we said, let's say you have a gardening blog, so let's say you sign up for your content competitors, right? Sign up for their blogs, download their freebies, see what it is that they're talking about, talk about those things on your blog, give them on your own spin. Get inspired, don't copy. That is one policy that I follow as a blogger, and every one of you should follow. Get inspired all you want, but never copy. Okay. Next, people also ask about sections on Google. So okay, let me show this to you. For example, um, we are saying gardening tips for beginners. Okay, so you see, I have just, let me just turn on the brightness. See, I have searched for gardening tips for beginners. So this you see here, people also ask, these are your content ideas here. These are the questions that people are searching for, and these are the questions that need to be answered in your blogs. That will not just add to the SEO, but it will also add. Purnima, yes? Hello. Okay. So yeah, I was saying that these are the content ideas people also ask for. These are the questions that should be there in your blog, because this is what people are searching for. This is not just it doesn't just add to SEO of your website, but it also shows Google that you are an authority content creator in this niche, that you know what you're talking about. Okay. Very important, how to do keyword research. So you have your content ideas with you, but now it's time to see how to do your keyword research. Okay, so here are a few things that you need to remember, that you need to understand when you are uh, doing your keyword research. For a new website, it is important that you focus on long tail keywords. For example, for gardening tips, if you go for a keyword like gardening, your blog will never rank, because you're a new website. There are thousands other websites doing the same thing, and keeping your focus keyword as gardening will, like, your website will just get lost in the entire pool of gardening websites. So for, like, initially, we would do the we would, like, I will show you how I will, choose the keyword for my first gardening blog if I was to do that. But you need to remember that you need to focus on long tail keywords. What are long tail keywords? Basically 3 to 4 words keywords. Okay, you need to focus on how to or tips content. Why? Because that ranks faster. When you are showing how to, like, when you're showing a process, or when you're giving tips on any topic, that just ranks faster. Okay, focus on creating topic clusters. What are topic clusters? The thing that I just told you, that 19 gardening tips for beginners and creating 19 different blogs together, they make a topic cluster. Okay, so okay, let me just take you. All right, guys, now I'm gonna do the screen share, and I'm going to take you to my Ubersuggest dashboard, because that is the tool I use for my blog. Okay. All right, guys, can you see it? Can you just tell me if you can see it? All right. So this is, I have a paid version of Uber Suggest. Let me tell you. Earlier, Uber Suggest used to give like 3 free searches every day. But again, keyword research is a very crucial aspect of the whole blogging process. So I have invested in this tool, and it's literally one thing that I can never ever work around without. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I would discover the right keyword for my first blog. So our topic is gardening tips. I will never go for one single word in the initial searches. Why? Like I said, it's a huge one. So see, Here you can see search volume. Like I said, it should be between 1000 to 5000. So here we have a search volume of 2400. Great, we can go ahead with it. Okay. SEO difficulty 67. This means that even if you go for this keyword, it will take a little bit time for you to rank for this keyword. Paid difficulty 8, which is easy. What is paid difficulty? Paid difficulty is basically the ads that are shown on your, Google ads that are shown on your website or on business websites. So the paid difficulty is what businesses are running for. Okay, what they are willing to pay. And the cost per click is, say you have an ad on your website, and you have a gardening blog. So Google will only show relevant ads to your readers. It will only show ads that your readers would be prompted to click on or to explore more. All right, so when they click on those links or when they click on those ads, that is how you earn money from Google AdSense, right? So here the cost per click for a gardening tips kind of keyword is $1.90. And if you can see, I have selected the location as US. This is very important. Very, very important. Now I want my blog to get global traffic. That is why I go for US. Okay. But if you, let's say you want to, go for, let's say you want to explore, let's say you want your traffic to come more from the Indian websites or more from Indian people, then we would do a search again. And this is what it is. See, you see the difference in the search volume here. So in India the search volume is 880 as compared to in US. Okay, then SEO difficulty 70, and the cost per click, it's in rupees and it's 28.26. So $1.09 equals to somewhat around 80 to 90 rupees, and here it's just 28 rupees. You see the difference? This is how you make more money when your blog is targeted towards a global audience. All right, this is the difference it brings in your earnings. That is, now I have my blog targeted towards a more global audience, right? And how do I target it? Simple. I just do my keyword research based on these countries. Okay, now this is you can go for other keyword research tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs or Moz, but again, like I said, I have used this paid version for like 2 years now, and I find it really uh, reliable, because all the keyword research that I have done on Uber Suggest has really worked in my favor. It's not that it showed me any false results or anything, though there is a lot of debate around using this tool. But yeah, it has worked quite well for me, so I don't think there's anything wrong in using Uber Suggest, right? So yes, this is how I do my keyword research. Now let's say that we just go for gardening. Okay, I want to show you something else. So let's just go for this one word, gardening. You see, do you see the search volume? 2 lakh, right? That is the search volume. That is why I said you should go for a longer keyword. Why? Because you will like your, this is just a search volume that these many people are searching for it. But do you even, like, you cannot even comprehend the number of people who are creating content on this keyword, the number of websites you would be competing with for this keyword. That is why it is always advisable that you should go for longer keywords. Okay, now let's say you cannot think of a longer keywords, then what you would do? So what I would do is, um so we would scroll down and see, here are all your keywords here. Okay, these are all your different keywords. Now you see the search volume here. See, these are all the different keywords that you can work around. These are all the different keywords you can create content around. Okay, now here it says SEO difficulty. Okay, so you want to focus on the keywords that have lesser search volume, but they also have green in color of SEO difficulty. For example, let's just find one for you. For example, this one, gardening wallpaper, 5400 search volume, CPC 7.48, and SEO difficulty is also 22. This means it will be easier for even a new website to rank for this keyword because the search volume is low, and CPC is also kind of good, 7 rupees, and the SEO difficulty is just 22, right? This means that not many people have created content around this keyword, so you can go for a keyword like gardening wallpaper. Now I'm just taking an example here. It is your creative mind how you would use this keyword in a title, in the blog, and how you would create content around it. That is your creativity. For example, um, if it's about gardening wallpaper, I would probably write a blog on this topic. Like, for example, I would write 11 ways, 11 easy ways for you to use a gardening wallpaper. Something like that. I'm just being very vague here, but something like that, right? 11 simple ways, 11 easy ways in which you can use a gardening wallpaper for your home decor, something like that. This is your creativity on how you would do that. Now here it depends that whether you are sharing a personal experience. For example, let's say you have used the gardening wallpaper and you have used it in different ways, and you would like to show people they can use it as a gift wrapping paper, as a wallpaper in their garden, for the benches, and all these different things. This is your creativity, and this is why I say your interest and passion is very necessary in your niche. This is how it helps you to to just be curious and to have that brainstorming with your ideas. This is why it is important. All right, so yeah, uh these are all this, like, this is all the keywords. Okay, uh these are all the good keywords that you can rank for. Okay, uh see, now again you can also, let's do it for USA for once. Let's see what comes in. And see, Uber suggests, it also gives you these SEO tips of the day, so that really works in your favor to learn more about SEO, right? Like, I have learned quite a few things from here. So see, we are in the US, and here the word gardening has lesser search volume as compared to India. It's only 33,000 as compared to 2 lakhs in India. Okay, now let's go for the volumes, lesser keywords. See, here, see, here's the keyword, gardening for beginners, 4,400 volume and $1.13. Great number for me. I would definitely go for gardening tips for beginners if I was creating a blog that's focused in USA. I would definitely take this gardening for bloggers as my keyword. It's 3 words, it's long tail, and it's just perfect for a new blog, right? And yes, while we are on keywords, let me also teach you about short tail keywords and long tail keywords. So long tail keywords are these things. Okay, everything that you see for 3 or 4 words, these are long tail keywords, and they are easier to rank for. Why? Because bigger websites focus on short tail keywords because they have grown that much. But for new websites, you should focus on long tail keywords because not many blogs or websites are creating content around them. Okay, short tail keywords on the other hand is this gardening itself, this is a short tail keyword. Okay, this is a short tail keyword, gardening, just one single word. It's difficult to rank for, it has a lot more competition as compared to your long tail keywords. Okay, so this is the basic difference between short tail and long tail keywords. All right, So yes, this is everything I wanted to teach you around keyword research, and this is all I do. Nothing fancy, no technical aspects, nothing hoo-ha, just very simple, plain Uber suggest searches. That's it. And until and unless you find the right keyword, like with the paid plan, I have like I have like a daily 100 searches with me. So with the paid plan, I get to experiment a lot. For example, when I am giving keywords to my writers, in like now, so these guys suggest me the keywords, right? They come up with the ideas, they suggest me the keywords because they have learned my system. But initially, for the first few weeks when we began, I was the one who was giving them keywords. So I had a lot more creative flow with me. I used to, enter random keywords in here and search for different keywords to give my writers. Because keyword research is a skill. It is literally a skill that you have to find those keywords that should be less competition, less, that should have less competition for you, and they should bring more traffic. So it's quite a skill to find keywords that are a balance of both. And it's not something that that you learn overnight. It's something that you get a hang of as like the more you practice. I've been using this tool for 2 years now. Earlier I used to use it for my client work. Now I do it for my own websites as well. So it has been a great experience for me so far, and I would really highly suggest that, if you are sincere about growing a blog, invest in a tool like this. Or you can go for other prospects, like there is SEMrush, there's Ahrefs, there's Moz. Tools doesn't really make a difference. It is your creativity that will take you forward, guys. Okay, so you can invest in any of these tools. All of them are competitors, but I have used SEMrush as well. Okay, I have used SEMrush, and I've but I am sticking to Uber Suggest because I've been used to it, and I just find it very, like, easy peasy for me to use. Okay, now let's get back to the workshop. We just have a few more slides, and then we will end today's session. Okay, so next thing. Now we come to writing your. Yes. Now we come to writing your blog titles. Okay. So for your blog titles, now when you invest in a WordPress blog, when you create a WordPress blog, so WordPress gives you an SEO analytics of every blog that you post. So you can, you have the SEO analytics for the title as well in the WordPress dashboard. And let's say you don't have it as of now. Okay, or you would like to just play with your title, then you can use this tool. It's called the free headline analyzer. Okay, it's by CoSchedule. Okay, so again, I'll take you to CoSchedule to show you how it works. Okay, let's just take you to that dashboard now. Oh, all right, guys, so I am gonna share my screen now for the CoSchedule. CoSchedule, actually, this was a free app until last year, but now they have converted it into a paid platform, and you only get 10 free credits per month, I guess. Right? So, see, I have 2 of 10 credits remaining. I have used my 8 credits, so but I left 2 of them to show you here in the workshop. So, let's analyze a headline quickly. I'm just going to use the same headline that we have been talking about: 19 best uh, gardening tips for beginners. See, it gives you a headline score and it says 69, because apparently I have a character count, but then it analyzes your headline like this. So my headline doesn't have an emotional word, that is why it says low. And it doesn't have an uncommon word. Okay, this is how the co-schedule analyzer work. It ranks your headline. So but as a writer, you should make sure that your headline should come plus 70, because when it's plus 70, that is when it gets like, it's just better from the reader's perspective. See, it doesn't give you a headline score here. Why? Because that's in the paid version. So I don't use the paid version for the headline score. Why? Because when you already invest in a WordPress blog, like I said, it gives you an SEO analysis there itself. Okay, so you don't have to invest in that. Okay. uh, tomorrow when we begin the workshop, I will show you all the WordPress dashboard and how it looks like. Okay. uh, I will show you everything. I will take you through the SEO analysis and everything that happens on the back end. Okay, so I'll show all of that tomorrow to you guys. But yeah, this is how the co-schedule analyzers work. So if I had to get it plus, like plus say 70, I would do something like best gardening tips for beginners, 19 best gardening tips. Let's say we are, you can use 73. Now, would you like to know what is the difference between this and the previous headline? The word you. Why? Because adding the word you or your to your headlines, it makes your headline very targeted, and it adds the emotion of connectivity to it. That is why when you see, like, I have used all of my 10 credits. See, common, uncommon, emotional, but again I've used a power word here. So you is a power word here. All right. Best is a power word, and when you use you, can, even though it's a pronoun, and can is an auxiliary verb, all of these things together add to the weight of your website, and that is why it gives you a plus 70 score. So of like lately I have never, like, I have stopped using co-schedule, but I kept it in my workshop because I wanted to give you an option for content writing as well, because I know there are people who might not get into blogging like very after this workshop. But let's say you are a content writer and you want to experiment with your headline, and if you want to see how the headline would work, then this is a great tool for you. It gives you free 10 credits, so yeah, you can use it definitely. Now let's get back to the presentation. The third part, how to create your content outline. Now, creating your content outline is a matter of three parts: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion of a blog. Okay, so with content outline, you are creating a structure for the body by referring to, like I said, the 13 research content ideas. All of those 17 methods can be used for your content research as well: books, YouTube, content consumption, social media, podcast. All of these are different ways in which you can research for your content as well. Okay, but you will put the headings and subheadings by keeping SEO in mind. What do I mean by this? So again, tomorrow when I take you to my WordPress dashboard, what I'll do is I'll keep one blog ready in my drafts, and I will show you how I improve it from below zero, like how I take it to a pro SEO level. Okay, I'll do that in front of you tomorrow in the workshop, so you'll get to know what it is that I'm talking about, the SEO in mind thing. Okay, so um what happens is this headings, they play a very major role in SEO. Subheadings, same. How? Because when you take your focused keyword and when you add it to your when you add it to your primary keyword, that keyword that you're targeting in your SEO analytics on your WordPress dashboard, it gives you a list of everything that you are doing. It gives you a list of every single thing that you're doing. So what I'm going to do is, I will set up the blog and I will edit it and I will keep it ready in front of me in my WordPress dashboard, and tomorrow I'll post it in front of you and I'll show you what all things I do with my blog. Okay, after I've posted it, I'll keep it ready for you guys tomorrow in the workshop, because tomorrow we'll also be discussing Pinterest. So that is like another important aspect of the whole game. So but Pinterest comes into play after I've posted on my blog. So we'll post a blog together tomorrow and then I will take you to my Pinterest thing. So yeah, like I said, so when we are creating content outline, so content outline is basically in the introduction, then it's the body, or the body is basically the main meat, the matter of your blog, and then there is conclusion. So when you are writing an introduction for your blog, your job is to write an introduction that teases your audience. Create an introduction, write an introduction in such a way that your audience cannot refrain themselves from reading ahead. Okay, that is what I'll teach you next in the writing process. The writing process. Okay, so now we are talking about the first draft. A first draft is literally a brain dump. Okay, you sit with your laptop and you write everything and anything that comes to your mind around that subject, around that blog topic. You fulfill your content outline in your first draft. Okay, let's say you have while working on your content outline, let's say you have created a list of questions that you would want to answer in your blog. Let's say you have created a list of pointers, headings, subheadings, and everything that you would want to add in your blog. So when you are working on your first draft, this is your time when you fulfill that content outline. But you are free to be messy here. Okay, let them be messy and imperfect. Turn off your Grammarly or spell check. Okay, for example, Grammarly, it's a very popular content editing app, as you would know, and it has a, it has a Chrome extension as well. So I have it on my laptop as well, and I'm sure every writer probably has a Chrome extension, has a Grammarly Chrome extension in their laptop. But when you are working on your first draft, close it. Why? Because just imagine you're working continuously and the red lines, the green lines, and the yellow lines keeps showing. It's distracting and it gets into your flow as a writer. So stop them and turn it off while you are working on your first draft. Don't bother about the sentence length. Don't bother about the structure and format. Just write with a free mind and let your creativity flow. That is what you're supposed to do as a writer. Above all, just let your creativity flow. Now once you're done with your first draft, leave it until the next day. Okay, now when you have left it for the first day, you come back to it for the second draft, and this is when you shape your blog. Just like a potter, what do? They work on their utensils, or every whatever it is that they're creating, they work on it, and then they give a rough shape to it, and then they start shaping it. For example, if they're creating a ceramic bowl or anything, so they start shaping it. Similarly, as a content producer, as a writer, when it comes to your second draft, this is where you come back to the blog the next day with better ideas and more creativity. You have to take a break between your first and second draft. And the writing process that I'm sharing, it's not just applicable to your blog. Again, it's applicable to you as a content writer as well. Okay, take a break. Next time, this is your time to add more information and refine your content. So this is the time when you turn on your writer hat again, but with a little more responsibility. Why? Because now you have to make sure that your content is something that engages your readers. It should give them solutions you have promised the title. You should edit ruthlessly for any spelling, grammar, or punctuation mistakes. Turn on your grammarly during your second draft. Okay, keep your sentences short. If you cannot shorten them, make sure they are easy to read. Write in active voice and include a CTA. Okay, you should definitely write in active voice. Okay, what is active voice? For example, Ram is being followed, like, I'm giving a very childish example, I'm giving a very school grammar type of example, but it's important. Ram is being followed by Rohan. Rohan is following Ram. The first example is passive voice, the second example is active voice. Passive voice adds unnecessary length to your sentences, whereas active voice, it shortens the sentence. This is why it is always recommended that you should write at a middle school level, that is a level of 6th to 8th standard, and you should use active voice. Why? Because a normal reader on the internet, they are capable of reading at a middle school level. Not everyone is a PhD holder or a master's graduate. All right, every single internet user on an average uses the 6 to 8 reader style. So your content, your writing, irrespective of how, like, doesn't matter how bizarre topic you are writing about, your art, your creativity as a writer is proven when you can explain difficult topics in easy language. That is your job as a writer. All right. AI for blog content creation process. So AI is changing the way content works. Okay, like, before my team came in, I was using this tool called Write Sonic. Okay, if you guys want to get a complete breakdown of how I use it, I have a YouTube video. Again, you will get all these links and information in the email that you will receive tomorrow morning for the first day, and for the second day you'll receive another email on Monday. Okay, so you will have, I will share the videos with you. There, like, before that I used to use Write Sonic for my first draft, and I tell you, even though it's a great tool, I can just like read and find that, oh, it's been written by a robot. So now with my team, what we do is, some of my writers, if they like to use, I don't restrict them from using AI completely, because, well, it's like we are living in the times when AI is very much there in the market, and I cannot stop them from using it. So what we like to do is, I let them use AI for research purpose, like I used to do it. For example, we we have our first draft by AI, but after that, all of my writers are supposed to work on that draft. And if they send me a copy pasted AI draft, I get to know it very easily, and that is the reason I removed so many people from my writing team in the initial days, because they did not follow what I said. Okay, so use AI all you want, but use it for your research purposes. See it as another research tool. At least we see it in my team now. We see it as another research tool. We don't use it for writing. I don't allow copy pasting AI written content. And if any writer does submit it, then no content on my blog goes without my editing process. Every single blog, since the past, I've been working with the writing team for the past 3 months, and every single blog that I have been posted on my blog, it has gone through a writing process by my writer, but an thorough editing process by me. It doesn't pass go it doesn't goes to my blog, because I am the one posting on my blog. I don't have a team managing anything at the back end. Like I said, I am doing it all alone. So I want that every single blog that goes on my website should be a human written content. There have been times when I have scraped the entire thing written by a writer and I've rewritten it by myself. There have been days like that as well. But that's because I want my personal brand to reflect me. And if you are writing for me as a writer, as a personal brand, as a blogger, I will not accept content that does not reflect my personality. That is your job as a writer. That is what we do as a writers. We get into this, we step into the shoes of our clients. So if my writers can learn that art, after 3 months they're prepared to do that, not just for me but for their other clients as well. That is why it's a free blog mentorship, because while they write for me, they learn 10 times more from me. And I hope they have learned it, because we have training sessions and we do all of those things during the session. And it's important. Why? Because today you can, like, okay, I am posting my blog myself, and like, no blog is posted without like going through my thorough process. But what if tomorrow you go out in the market and you repeat something wrong with another client? That will not, like, it won't do anything to me, but for you that will cost you your reputation, your career. And what if the client goes on, blabbering on LinkedIn and saying this person did that and cheated me like this? That's a wrong way. That is why we use AI only for research purposes. Okay. Now here comes finalizing your draft. Like I said, I will show you this entire process on my WordPress dashboard tomorrow. Okay, so here's a list of things we do before I post. Finalize the blog title. I will show you the plugins I use. For example, when I started my blog, I used to use this plugin called Yoast SEO. It's free. You like I, remember I told you that WordPress has this library like Google Play Store. You can download your plugins from there. So Yoast SEO is a free plugin. Obviously it has a paid version as well, but I don't use it. Earlier I was using Yoast SEO. Now I use Rank Math for my SEO purposes. And again, free tool. I don't use the paid version, because trust me when I say this, free versions of these SEO tools, they work very well. Because obviously, by now I've been in the business for 3 years, I've been writing blogs for so long. So even without those SEO analytics, I know what are the things that needs to be done to make my blog SEO optimized. Now because I work with my clients as well, I don't take every client blog and take it through my WordPress dashboard. No, I know the things that need to be done. So even for you as beginners as well, the more you learn about these things, the more you learn about SEO, the more you learn about your process, the better you get at it. I can teach you, I can come here and I can speak for hours and hours, because this is my, like, this is the thing that I love the most, right? Talking about my work. And I can do it all along. But the until and unless you get into the process and you get your hands dirty and you get into the game, you will not learn it, right? So we finalize the blog, like I finalize the blog title, optimize my blog for SEO from the, like I said, WordPress dashboard, which I'll show you tomorrow. I create the cover image for my blog, which I do in Canva. Canva is a very simple tool. Okay, anybody can use it, it's a free tool. Then I add relevant images. So if I have any real images that I can add, I do that. I prefer adding real images to my blogs. Otherwise, stock images, yes, you can add them, but it's just that when you add real images, it just adds to the authenticity of the blog. So I like to use real images for any topics that I can. Okay, run it through Grammarly one last time, very important. But a lot of writers ask me that, what if Grammarly is giving you a suggestion and you feel that it's incorrect? Go with your intuition then. Simple. Go with your feelings, go with what you feel as a writer. Because irrespective of what Grammarly tells you, at the end it's a tool, right? There has been so many times when Grammarly continuously gives me that red lines, red lines, red lines, and I always disagree with it. Like most of the time, I decline it. I use Grammarly only for spell checks and punctuations, or sometimes it rephrases a longer sentence into a shorter ones. That is also good. But for example, let's say I've written a sentence like, I would really like to know. Really, as an adverb, even though really is an adverb, it really emphasizes on some situations. And in some aspects it add to the weights of the sentence. But Grammarly, it doesn't allow really as a word. It keeps on giving that red line. So I don't I like most of the times I ignore those red lines. So again, it's your brain as a writer. Use all the tools you want, take your brain alone. Okay, that is what I always say. And then one final manual proofread, going through the entire content by myself, and then I hit publish. That's it for day one. Okay, so okay, now do you guys want to ask anything, or would you like to wait for tomorrow? Yeah, we are done with day one, and I will. Okay, some of you have your mic on. Yes, Yamini.
Um, Actually, I already have some like 7 to 8 questions after today's.
Okay,
So, is it okay if you can answer today or uh, maybe tomorrow? That's fine, no problem. Uh,
okay,
so, yeah, should I go start now or maybe tomorrow? It's up to you. No problem. You
okay,
can.
okay. So,
Yeah.
okay. So you have 7 to 8 questions, guys. Other people, how many questions do you have? Other guys, like girls, if you can tell me.
या मैम मेरे पास 2 क्वेश्चंस हैं.
Okay, Purnima has 2 questions. Any other? Priya, Munira, do you guys have any more questions?
I also have two questions.
All right, guys. So, okay. So let's take these questions tomorrow because my my voice is gone. Okay. Let's take all of your questions tomorrow, and what we will do is that before I start the session tomorrow, we'll take your questions, and then I'll take you to my WordPress dashboard, and then we will continue with the last two steps, and then we will go on to the Q&As for the second day. Okay.
Okay.
I wanted to
Okay.
ask कि आप slides share करेंगी? Will you share the
Yes,
slides?
yes. Yes. You guys will get the slides in the email, but you will get all the slides in the second email. Okay, like both days ka slides you'll get in the second email, but you'll get the recording tomorrow because some of the people have not joined and they wanted that if I can share the slides, for the first day tomorrow itself, so they can go through the slides and maybe join in for the second day. Okay, so I will share the recording of the first day tomorrow morning itself, and I will share the links to all the tools that I've mentioned in the email. Okay, and I will share relevant YouTube videos from my channel that are there, which will give you a more in-depth explanation of the topics because they're out there in the public for free. That's why I've not included them in the workshop. Okay, but they will give you a lot more in-depth detail, and then I will see you tomorrow on day 2. Okay. All right. Okay, guys, can you just turn on your camera for once? Like all the girls? All right. Yeah, I have done something new this time, so we're just recording a background video for that. Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow in day 2. All right, and yes, if you guys have any questions, like I said, we will take on the questions tomorrow first, and then we will go on to the second day. I will share my WordPress dashboard with you, and in the meantime, if you guys come up with any new questions, feel free to add them to your question list. First we will address your questions and then we will move on to the second day. Okay. Okay, but yeah, I would love to know how was your experience for day 1.
It was great. Yeah, got to know so
did
many new
did you did you learn something new, especially Priya, because you have been at my writing team? But yeah, I made sure that you learned something new with this workshop.
Yeah. There are many things that मतलब मुझे पता ही नहीं था. काफी कुछ चीजें पता थी बट कुछ चीजें नहीं पता थी.
Okay. Okay, girls. So, yeah, I'm happy that you guys learned something new. And tomorrow it's going to be even more great because tomorrow we'll talk about money, the main thing. Okay. The how do you earn through your blog and everything. Most importantly, Google AdSense. We will focus on AdSense because as bloggers, that is your first step towards monetization. At least that should be your first step towards monetization. All right. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 2 p.m. You'll get the call link, the recording, and all the other tools, links, and everything in an email tomorrow. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
guys. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye. अबे पागल बंद करिए मेरा, वैसे तो ले अब की हो गया ये वो, भागने की लग रही है तुझे, बंद हुई सी. Okay, we just completed day one. My voice is gone. It's already cracking. But yeah, now I have to send them an email about everything that we talked about today, the recording that we did. And yeah,